Okay, so we're back, and we've just gotten our mix in for our final version of our action promo. I'm going to go over here to our comps. I'm going to go ahead and make this. We're going to call this V5 Final Mix, Final Spot. And this one would be Friday version, because normally we would have multiple versions: Friday, tomorrow, tonight, next, continuing next, that kind of stuff. So it's here in our comps. Let's open this up. Now, because I've got this, I can pretty much just select everything and detach audio so that all my audio is separate from the video clips, because we're not going to want to have our embedded audio inside of this, obviously. And this is very similar to kind of how we work with Final Cut Pro 7. We'd get rid of the audio, and we drop in. Because I imported a folder, this basically just comes in like this. So we have our mix. Drop it right in here. There we go. And let's make sure our length is correct. Yes. So great. We also get other elements with a mix. Mix minus narration. Narration only, series premiere of FX only. So we could basically at this point export a QuickTime ProRes file and deliver this spot, but we may want to do one or two other things with it. So let me show you what those things are. First, we could make a new project at this point. Wouldn't be a bad idea. So let's go into our Creative Cow action spot. We're going to make a new project. We're going to call this Delivery for now, because why not? And we're going to drag in our spot. But first, let's go over to one of our custom generators, slates. Let's grab MFI generic slate. Uh-oh, better update our logo. This is going to be a 1080i. Great. So this should be 10 seconds. We could actually do 5 seconds. Some networks want like 2 seconds of slate. For digital delivery, we'd usually do a shorter slate just to keep the file size down. Then we would say Option W for 3 seconds of black. Great. And then we would bring in our final spot. There you go. And then also at the very end, put in Option W, and then just give them like a second of black at the end. So let's see how this looks. So we've got our little 6-frame fade up, sort of an industry standard. But we also need to make a submaster version. So let's make a submaster. Okay, so let's open this. We're going to delete the action spot mix. We're going to put in everything but the mix. Dialogue, FX, mix minus narration, music, and narration. Drag these guys down in here. And now at this point, we can assign these guys roles based on, this is dialogue, so great. It's convenient. That's it. We could export settings. Rolls as multi-track QuickTime movie. That's what we want. Then we can assign which one is which. We'd say, this is mono for dialogue. And we would export this, and this would become a submaster we would deliver and upload to a client, or give them a hard drive with it on there, however they want it. Some want hard drives, some want uploads. Some want you to do something totally different, which is to provide the actual event of everything in there. In which case, we would just take our DMG that we have here and just drag it over to the hard drive that they send us every day, because we have one network that just gives us hard drives every day of show updates and whatnot. And so on the return trip, we could put this on there like that. Or we could, and I've tested this, Right now, this sparse disk image has gotten about 40 gigs because of all the renders and versions and stuff like that I've done. You could go into your events and your projects, and you could just delete these render files, and it's going to take out the bulk of the size. So if right now we're 40 gigs with renders, but if I wanted to, I could delete them and upload it would get down to about 1 gig, which is totally within you send it. And then what would be great about that is the client opens it up, Final Cut recreates these render files, and it starts the render process all over again. The client downloads it. The cool part is it brings across all the audio and sound effects that we used. And also, if the client doesn't have our transitions, well, guess what? We'll just drag them in here, and they'll have them. Same thing for our slate generators and titles and all the things that we make in Final Cut or in Motion. They can have, and they come with the project. So when we're done, we unmount this action spot, export it, or upload it, and it's good. And that's how we make deliveries. And for clients that still need tape, we can use these QuickTime ProRes files we've exported, and depending on the room we're editing in, we can lay back with either AJA's VTR Exchange or Blackmagic's Media Express. You can use Andreas's Create Disk Image app to actually shrink the size. If you delete the render files and you just want to archive it to save space, you can say compact disk image once you've deleted the render files and unmounted the disk, and it's going to get it down to a nice little 1 gig size, and you can move on with your life. Okay, so that's it. One last thing. Don't forget to add your broadcast safe filter to all your clips and compounds before you export. That's it. We've been working with Final Cut Pro 10 now for since May, so 6, 7, 8 months. We like it. We're pretty happy with it. The sharing process has been something that's evolved over time. The last 2 updates for Final Cut have really been a massive help to us getting our job done. A couple other things I want to throw out there. If you do send an event to a client, they have to have identical media on there, and I don't think I was very clear about that. Also, I love third-party plugins. I like using them for my home system and for my single system if I'm not sharing a project. But if I do need to share a project, doing it yourself is going to make your life a little easier. And then also, you may want to create an event on a single machine just for importing shoot footage to convert. It should be your fastest machine. I do have one event set up just called import. Anytime we do a shoot, it brings stuff right in, converts it for me, and then I drag it onto the server. And that's how we were able to access all the footage from our FS700, because you can't just drag it off the camera. You have to import it through the import dialog. DMGs. We are pretty happy with this solution. It's not necessarily the solution that Apple recommends or maybe you should try, but for us, it has a cool side effect of keeping our events limited. And the less events you have open, the smoother your system's going to run. You'll be happier with Final Cut in the long term. The primary storyline, we do use it. For the cutting of these tutorials, we relied on the primary storyline heavily. For the creative process, when you're juggling random elements and trying to make them all work, we found that staying out of it for the meantime is our favorite solution thus far. It's going to change. These things change every day. We're always evaluating our processes. We're always working to make them better and make things work smoother. 7 to X. If you want to get your Final Cut Pro 7 projects into X or into 10, that's the one you use. We like it, and it's pretty good. So without further ado, I present you our Action Night Spot.
Friday, it's a night of all-new action on MFI.
Get me the president. We'll wake him!
Starting at 8, it's the series premiere of
Fire a nuclear weapon.
The Decider. At 9, an all-new episode
Sleep! I swore I'd never use my powers again.
of Shocker. Then at 10,
I thought we had a deal. Deal's off, Budo.
it's the season finale of Rage. It all starts Friday night at 8, only on MFI.
So that's it. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks to everybody here at Magic Feather and Extreme Music for giving us their great library to work with. And stick around for the credits, because that's where we're going to roll some bloopers.
How's the family doing, Jim? You know?
Haven't seen you in a while. We're gonna be having a good big cookout this Saturday.
Let me see it.
Deal's off, puto. The deal's off, puto.
That's funny.
Make sure we got Christian Bale in the frame back here.
If I say this anymore, I'm gonna die.
I just think it'd be really cool if Batman was protecting me. We have Batman maybe part of this, part of the service.
Oh, did that hurt you?
Yeah.
People will be cleaning this up for years.
You don't have to make the sound effects with your mouth.
I know, right? How are you gonna stop that?
We got a list. We're putting them on cards. All right, you ready there, Christopher Nolan? Just start dropping them. Send them over. Send them in.
Deal's off, puto.
I keep doing it.
The password is password and then 1. The big ones. I need you to fire Martha.
I thought we were having a deal.
And go.
Yep.